So we're going to make some fundamental, important advances. And as some of my colleagues have given voice to, the issue really is striking the balance. I've spent a lot of time on this issue. I've brought the advocates together with our chambers to have a candid and the only, to the best of my knowledge, conversation in which people really shared their views with respect to this, where the chambers could hear from the advocates and the advocates could hear from the chambers the concerns that the small business community has with respect to this, and to see whether or not we could not find common ground. And it was a good effort. And I would say to the activists, I applaud you for your commitment and your work. And it's been very important. We wouldn't be where we are today without it. And I would say to you as honestly as I can that my responsibility is different than your responsibility. Your responsibility is to fight for the strongest bill you can possibly get, in part because you want to make it the template for the state to go forth with the nation and say, here it is. This is the Holy Grail. My responsibility is to take this and say, how can it fit with where our community is today? And our community's economy is not what it needs to be today. Everyone up here knows that our regional economy has fundamentally changed as a function of the federal government's pullout from many of the things that created economic opportunity in our county. The whole conversation for the past year is, how can we create a better climate for our business community? And that changes issue by issue. So when I looked at this issue and tried to figure out, I said, well, we're not operating on a blank slate here. Many other good progressive communities have looked at this issue. And I brought to my colleagues' attention Portland, Seattle, New York City, the District of Columbia, all of whom good progressive communities, and all of whom said to themselves, you know, the burdens of this legislation falls disproportionately on the small business community, and therefore we ought to make some adjustments. The county executive has sent over a memorandum in which he's urged us to do precisely that, to make adjustments for the smallest of our small businesses. The Washington Post today had an editorial urging us, strike the right balance. We can do this good work and take care of the small business community without violating our principles or our progressive values. And that's my hope as we have this conversation at the end of this, that we will talk about all the various options that are available to us. And maybe not one is right. Maybe it's a combination. Some jurisdictions have exempted small businesses completely. Some jurisdictions have said, no, they're not exempted, but small will be required to give unpaid leave. Other jurisdictions have said, we'll do for small businesses of 0 to 25 this, for 25 to 100 this, for 100 to 250 this. There are a variety of options available to us. And my hope is that the conversation we have this morning will set the stage for this afternoon for favorable consideration of some combination of options that allow us to adhere to the progressive values that are so terribly important to us, consistent with the progressive values of these other communities, that simultaneously advance our desire to take care of people and do not do harm to our small business community that is big business in Montgomery County.